So good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, I should say, and welcome to the Indigenous and Transcultural Research Centre Partnership Series. I'm very honoured to present to you today Dr. Hafiza Sobia Tufail, who's a postdoctoral research fellow in social marketing at Griffith University. Sobia is going to be talking to us today about purchasing behaviour of ugly food, moderating the role of religiosity in Pakistan, a food waste reduction strategy. So over to you, Sobia.
I'm good, ma'am. Thank you. Can I start?
Oh, I just remembered I haven't done the acknowledgement to country, so I better do that.
Okay. I'm Hafiza Sobia. Yep.
Yep. So I would like to also acknowledge that we are zooming in today from Gubbi Gubbi country on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. And
Okay,
I pay
thank you.
respects to elders past and present. This is a space of age-old ceremony, wisdom and education. And I hope that this rich history and ongoing cultural dynamism will infuse our discussions today. And I would like to acknowledge all of the unceded lands that everyone here is zooming into from today. So over to you, Sobia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. First of all, I would really thank all of you, and especially Catherine and Professor Maria, for giving this opportunity. So I'm really thankful to all of you. So now I'm starting my presentation. Okay. So, this topic is basically relevant to my PhD thesis. My PhD thesis was about the food waste reduction strategy in Pakistan. I have published one paper in a sustainability journal. Now this is my second paper from my PhD thesis. So the topic which I am going to present is that purchasing behavior of ugly food, moderating role of religiosity in Pakistan, a food waste reduction strategy. First of all, as you know that a lot of people, including me, when I started my PhD journey, so I did not know about this. What is the suboptimal food? In other words, we can call ugly food. So first of all, I will define what is the suboptimal food and ugly food. As you people know that all the products that deviate from normal or optimal product based on their shape, size, and their date of labeling, and based on their packaging, like thorn wrapper and dented can without deviation, this is called suboptimal food. In easy word, we can say that any abnormal shape, size, or a color food on a vegetables is defined as a ugly food. We can say that when we are going for a shopping, grocery shopping, and we mostly see that a lot of food products like vegetables and food, we can see that like a apple in a, if it's a good shape, then it is called optimal food. If the apple have a brown spot and a damaged product like a smashed product, then it is called suboptimal food. Similarly, when we are buy fruits like bananas have a brown spots, and when we buy cold drinks like Coca-Cola, then it's a dented can. And when we are I'm living in Australia, then I am going in a market in a Coles, I see that a lot of shelves have a products which is a quick sale. Then we can call, because it's a ugly food and suboptimal food, because expiry date is near to come. So these are the abnormal food, like ugly food and suboptimal food. In a simple word, we can say that any abnormal shape, size, color foods and vegetables, or any products that has been damaged, or a dented can, or a wrapping. So this is called a ugly food. As you people see that, so this is the suboptimal food. Basically, you can see that the potatoes with a heart shape, normally this is not a good shape, but when we see the heart shape in a damaged potato and damaged products, like these are the damaged products like juice, and these are the also bakery products which is damaged, these are called a suboptimal food or a ugly food. This is also a suboptimal food example. You can see that right side here is a apple and a cucumber. These are a normal shape and they don't have
Sorry to interrupt, Sobia. Can you move the slides on because we can't see your new slide? I can't do it. Yes, there we go.
Yes,
thank you.
good.
Yeah, lovely,
Okay,
beautiful. Thank you.
thank you. As you can see that in our left side we have an apple which have a different size and a damaged spot, and a cucumber which have a different shape. So this is called suboptimal food, right? So now I will going to present the objective of this study. Basically, we will examine the what are the factors, motivator factors like enablers and the barriers which influencing the consumer attitude, purchasing behavior, and purchase intention towards ugly food, right? And the second purpose is that this is the extended later due to the following reason. This is the first empirical study which using behavioral reasoning theory towards the ugly food. In the past, a lot of food study like organic food, local food, and a dragon food has applied the behavioral reasoning theory, but this is the first time study which we are going to present in our topic, to measure the consumer behavior study regarding the suboptimal food. So as you can see that third, the study particularly provide a decisive understanding of Pakistani consumer intention and behavior regarding the ugly food behavior. Now I will going to explain the research question. First of all, what are the accepting and rejecting factors influencing the purchasing behavior towards the ugly food in Pakistan while using the behavioral reasoning model? Behavioral reasoning model is a extended theory which I am going to present in a further detail in next upcoming slides. So research question 2 is that to what extent attitude reasoning like reason for and reason against and purchase intention attitude mediate the behavior towards the ugly food. And research question third is that does religiosity moderate the relationship between the purchase intention and purchasing behavior towards the ugly food in Pakistan? This so next slide is going to present the theoretical framework in my study. You can see that this is the theoretical framework of my study. As you people see that purchasing behavior toward ugly food is a DV of my study, and purchase intention, attitude, reasoning for consuming ugly food, reasoning against consuming ugly food, and values. These are main variable to our study which predict the consumer purchasing behavior. This is basically a behavior reasoning theory which I'm going to present in the next slide. So these are the our variables, our main variables like purchasing behavior, purchase intention, attitude, reason for, reason against, and values. You can, as you people see that reason, this is the complicated model, like reason for and reason against, these are higher order studies, these are higher order construct, and these construct have a lower order constructs like environmental concern and price consciousness and unappealing appearance. Reasoning against may in a reasoning against unappealing appearance and quality inferior. So reasoning for so I will explain now these variable one by one. Purchasing behavior, like as you people know that this is our DV, dependent variable. Purchasing behavior is also defined as a consumer power of a making decision for for purchasing a particular product and services that are available in the market. And like purchase intention, in other words, we also call the buying intention of a behavior, which also describe the willingness of the consumer to purchase a particular product or a services in the, within a next 3 months, 6 months, or a 12 month. And attitude is also a degree in which individuals have a favorable and unfavorable feelings regarding the products and services. So this is attitude. So the main difference in our study with a previous study, basically we are measuring the reasoning process. What are the reason? If consumer purchase this product, what are the accepting factor, motivating factor, enabling factor in which consumer purchase this product? So this is called reason for. Reason for basically is a represent the motivating or enabling factors that may permit the consumer behavior towards the some specific products. So in a reason for, in this model we take two basically variables in which we have a price consciousness and environmental concern. As you people know that price consciousness people are the people who are very keenly observe the prices. As you know that in a Pakistan, this basically we are a developing country, we are not developed country. So we people have lot of people have belong a middle class and lower middle class families. So when we will go for a shopping, then our basically main concern is a price. So in this model we have a price consciousness consumer and environmental concern is a basically a motivating factor to purchase ugly food and suboptimal food in a Pakistan. Environmental concern consumer, uh, we can define as the consumer which are who are aware about the environmental issues and sport and solving the issues to solve these environmental issues. So these are the two basically reason for price consciousness in an environmental concern to purchase ugly food. Now I'm going to present what is the reason against in our model. Basically reason against, as I already said that behavior reasoning theory basically define two major factors, accepting factors and barrier factor, demoting factors to purchasing the behavior. So reason against is that the resisting and the barrier factors that may have a negative perception among consumers. As you people know that we have a in our model we have a two basically reason against which define the lower order study, quality inferior and unappealing appearance. When we are going to make grocery shopping, then we can see that ugly food and suboptimal food have a not a good quality and not a good appearance. We can see that quality inferiors means fruit and vegetables with a minor and major defects. Like I have already told you, the apple with a brown spot, the cucumber with a different shape, the strawberry with a mashed product. And similarly unappealing appearance is the refers to an intrinsic attribute with a minor change in a food appearance, such as abnormal shape, size and color. We can see that reason against are basically are the reasoning which may have a negative impact to consumer to purchase the suboptimal food and ugly food products. So here is also a variable to our model which is also a value. Value refers to a person cognitive pattern resulting in appropriate like a behavior in the future. In our model we have a two value like utilitarian value and a hedonic value. As you people know that utilitarian value is the has a functional benefit, and hedonic value have a some emotional, pleasant experience on consumer. So when we are going to purchase the ugly food, we have seen that different shapes products like a heart shaped strawberry and a heart shaped potatoes. So sometimes these food are also attract the young consumer, young children, and these are the values of our suboptimal food. So religiosity, here is the religiosity in our study have a moderator effect. As you people know that religiosity is defined as the if a person commitment about their religion and belief in a daily life. And in a moderation we can see that religiosity in a different religion like Muslims, Christianity, and Hinduism and Buddhism, they focus, they have a lot of verses like Quran verses and ahadith verses. They have focused to us, to individual, please put down the food waste so that everybody can eat easily. So this is the religiosity in our study. So now I'm going to present the background information of our study. As you people know that food waste is one of the urgent global issue which has a negative impact on a social, economic, and environmental aspect, and it is a curricular to reduce food waste for sustainability development goal. As I have discussed that the major purpose is our study is to develop the zero hunger. As I have mentioned in our first paper, we attain the sustainability development goal 2, which is a zero hunger. So the main purpose is our study to reduce the hunger in a developing country, especially in a developing country or in a developed country. So we can see that in a background a lot of food is the waste is in all over the world, especially fruits and vegetables. Globally, level of hunger remains alarming high. The finding of the GRFC shows that currently 53 countries or territories with 190 million people who are severely food insecure and in the need of emergency assistance, breaking all previous record recorded by the GRFC. We can see that with the passage of time, hunger is an alarming issue, especially in our developed country and in a developing in our developing country. Developed country has also a issue, but I think they also control the issue. When I goes to cause this, I saw a shelf which is a quickly sale, but they did not mention this is the ugly food and this is the suboptimal food. So when the consumer enter the supermarket, they might have an idea in his brain, maybe this food is not good because this food is going to expire early. So that's why maybe they cut down their sale. So in a developing country, in a developed country, we should promote the ugly food. So that's why we can cut down the hunger ratio. As Australian wasted 7.6 million tons of food each year, this is very alarming situation right now. This gives the major supermarket as a strong incentive to resist policy change. This waste ratio will give Australian awareness, Australian policy, Australian supermarket and retailer and marketer and policy maker, even a public sport program and a government should aware the consumer. We should not waste the food, and we should eat and we should purchase the ugly food and suboptimal food. Basically we want to make a promotional strategy in which we purposely mention ugly foods are not ugly food. Basically these are not suboptimal food, these are optimal food, because these food have a same nutritional level and same type of energy which which already have as optimal food. Consumers play a significant role in causing a food waste country in a developed and in a developing countries, mainly due to the consumer household. So this is a background of study. As as in a European state such as the United Kingdom and France introduce a campaign to produce suboptimal food in their supermarkets, their supermarkets and in their stores. However, these similar marketing campaigns are not common in developing countries, especially Pakistan, Nepal, Indonesia, Malaysia, China. China is also a developed country, but in a Pakistan, Nepal, India, Indonesia, these are a developed country. These are facing a lot of problem hunger. Pakistan is one of the most food insecure country, ranking 95th on the food security index. This is very alarming situation. Hundreds of people die each year in Pakistan as a result of food deficiency. Thus, there is a need to reduce food waste and successfully to promote the purchasing suboptimal food and ugly food intention in Pakistan. However, it is a critical to raise consumer knowledge in our country, especially in our developing countries. Like as you people know that a lot of Pakistani and lot of Indians, they don't have a lot of knowledge about the suboptimal food and the ugly food. So this is not easy to promote the suboptimal food in developing countries. Pakistan government should establish the several laws, rules, and regulation, and make some policies and programs about the suboptimal food, about the food waste reduction strategy. In a Punjab sector, Pakistan has a four provinces. In one of the is a Punjab. Punjab Food Authority has recognized a food waste regulation 2019. Basically, this program is cut down the food waste reduction strategy, and SAS program and Prime Minister program also working a food waste reduction strategy in Pakistan. So, selection of a sample in our study, previous study using the purposive sampling to improve the validity and generalization of the study. Why are we choosing purposive sampling? Because a lot of people don't know about the suboptimal food and the ugly food term. So when I am going to collect my data, first of all, I have talked to about people about suboptimal food, and I have to draw some images so that consumer can make differences about optimal food and suboptimal food, and they can give me such a nice feedback. So in our study, we will focus on our grocery consumers. Grocery consumers are the main consumers, as you people know that in a buying intention and in a buying behavior, and grocery consumer also have a very concern about the pricing strategies and about the environmental issues. So that's why we are choosing grocery consumer in our study. In a literature review, I have reviewed a lot of literature, as you people see that in my slides, 2015 to 2022 or almost 23. These are the literature review slides, and in a previous literature, uh, different researchers have a make sense or different situational factor to food waste strategies, especially in a COVID situation. And in a previous research, most of the people use theory of planned behavior and theory of reason action and theory of interpersonal behavior, but no one can introduce the behavior reasoning theory. Most of the studies are experimental study. Our study is a quantitative study. Basically, most of the previous studies was done in 2018, 2019, and 2020. These are the experimental study because as fruits and vegetables, they have experience on the nutrition, and also they also have a qualitative study, and most of the consumer preferences also check to these study about the fruits and vegetables, and most of the local food and organic food are studies about the behavior reasoning theory, but not the suboptimal food and ugly food has using the behavior reasoning theory. So this is the main our research gap. We are focusing on the accepting and resisting factors to purchasing the suboptimal food in our study. So the next slide is about the theoretical framework. As you people know that purchasing behavior towards ugly food is our DV, and purchase intention, attitude, reason for consuming ugly food, reason against about consuming ugly food, and values. These are our I independent variables. Like hypothesis 1 explain the purchase intention has a positive impact towards ugly food purchasing behavior. Similarly, attitude has a positive impact towards purchase intention, and reason for consuming ugly food have a positive impact to purchase intention, and reason for also have a positive attitude toward consumer attitude towards ugly food. Like H5 also represent a negative impact, which shows that reason against have a negative impact to purchase intention. Negative and H6 also explain the reason against also have a negative impact towards attitude. And reason against these are the reason against. Basically you can see that environmental concern and price consciousness, these are the lower order of this higher order. This is the higher order, this is the lower order, and we can study the higher order and lower order study in our model. So these have a direct impact to purchasing intention and attitude and purchasing behavior. And this reason against also has a direct impact towards intention, behavior, and attitude. So meanwhile, values have a positive impact towards an consumer attitude, and values have a uh, direct impact towards a reason for consuming ugly food, and values have a negative impact towards a reason against towards ugly food. So this model also display the direct impact towards our purchasing behavior of our study. But in our study, attitude, purchase intention, and reason for and reason against also have a mediating effect towards the purchasing behavior and purchasing behavior of ugly food. And religiosity have a moderation effect on the purchase intention and purchasing behavior towards ugly food. So this is the our theoretical framework which we develop. And now I will explain a theoretical background with the perspective of theories. As I have mentioned that I am using the behavioral reasoning theory. Behavior reasoning theory is basically developed from these two theories of reason action and theory of planned behavior. Theory of reason action is a psychologistic understanding of human behavior, and theory of planned behavior also predict the behavior in which the theory of planned behavior basically is the extension of theory of reason action. And theory of planned behavior also have a three components, which is basically attitude, subjective norms, perceived behavior control, which may together predict the behavior and intention. So these are the underpinning theory of behavior reasoning theory of reason action, and theory of planned behavior. Researcher first of all give the theory of reason action, then they will present the theory of planned behavior. But in a 2005 they present a theory of behavior reasoning theory. Basically theory of planned behavior and theory of reason action predict the behavior. But researchers have some criticized these theories. Basically we need some theory that explain the some reasoning factor. So behavior reasoning theory is a theory which explain the reasoning factor about the consumer behavior. For either these are the positive factor, motivating factor, and enabler factors. Either these are the resisting factors, these are the barriers to predict the behavior. So when the researcher criticized the theory of planned behavior and theory of reason action, we should measure the reasoning process, what are the barriers and what are the motivator. So in a 2005, West by developed a theory which is behavior reasoning theory, which basically explain the drivers and behaviors factors towards the consumer intention and behavior. So basically our model is basically depend upon the behavior reasoning theory. So now I would explain to my hypothesis. As I have discussed that uh, H1 purchase intention has a positive impact with the purchasing behavior. H2 attitude consumer behavior has a positive impact and a positive relationship with the purchase intention. H3 reason for, in which we have a two lower order, we have a price consciousness, and we have a environmental concern, have a positive impact in a purchasing intention. Similarly, H4 also represent the reason for, has a positive impact towards the attitude, consumer attitude. And H5 also represent the reason against, have a positive, has a negative impact. Sorry, this is I think by mistakenly written. H5 reason against has a, as you see that reason against, H5 and H6 also have a negative impact towards the purchase intention and purchasing behavior. H7 also represent the values towards the ugly food purchasing intention, increasing the reason for purchasing value, because when the values have impact like utilitarian value and hedonic value, then purchasing behavior also going to be increased. So H8 also represent the values toward ugly food purchase intention is associated with decreased reason against. As we have mentioned that reason against is the unappealing appearance and a quality inferior. Then when the values have an impact, it basically decrease the reason against. So consumer make and purchase more products about the suboptimal food, regarding the suboptimal food. Values towards have a values toward ugly food purchase is associated with a favorable attitude towards the ugly food. We can say that values have a positive impact towards the consumer attitude, as I have already said that values, um, utilitarian values and hedonic values, these values increase the buying intention of consumers. And H10 also, H10, H11, H12 and H12, these are the mediating hypothesis, in which we can see that H10, which is also represent in my paper, H10 have a H1, H10A, H10B, H10C, in which we can see that attitude has a mediating effect among the values and reason for and a reason against and a purchase intention. Similarly, purchase intention also has a mediating effect among the consumer attitude, reasoning, reason for, reason against, and purchasing behavior. And H12 purchase intention also has a values. Purchase intention also have a mediating effect among consumer mediating purchase intention also have a mediating effect among consumer values and purchase intention. These are our mediating hypotheses. Age 13 also represent the moderating effect among the purchase intention and purchasing behavior of the consumer. So this slide also represent the research method. First of all, I am going to take the pilot testing. The result were also significant. And the population in our study are the grocery consumer. The reason of the grocery consumer is that because the grocery consumer have a more concern about price consciousness and environmental concern. And sample, we take a 1913 sample set, because this paper is relevant to my phd thesis. And all the research instrument, we have developed a questionnaire which have a two portion, basically three portion. In a first portion we have a demographic, and in a second portion we have a some suboptimal food figures, so the consumer can easily understand what are the ugly food and what are the suboptimal food. And in a third portion we have a measure of the study, all the measures: purchasing behavior, purchase intention, attitude, reason for, price consciousness, environmental concern, reason against, quality inferior, unappealing appearance, values, utilitarian values and hedonic values, and religiosity. All the measures are adopted from the previous study. So our response rate also was 70% about this study. So the data analysis, we used PLSM for the data analysis, because this model is a very complicated. When the model is complicated, we must use PLSM, because PLSM is a software which can easily handle the complicated model, and which also had, and it is easy to use, and it is PLSM also calculate the higher order lower order study which I have mentioned in our model. So we used PLSM in our study. First of all, we will go for a descriptive statistic, then hypothesis testing. As you can see that these are our results, these are our demographic variable slides, and these are our descriptive study, and these are correlation analysis. All the variables like attitude, purchase intention, purchasing behavior, reason for, reason against, and values, religiosity have a highly correlated. So this is our correlation analysis, and this is the our lower order study. As I have mentioned that our model have a lower order and first and second order higher order study. As you can see that these are the first order and lower order table, and this is the higher order and second order. Higher order, in which we mention reason for, reason against, values, and these are our lower order study. This is the basically reliability and validity table of our study. And as also I have discussed that higher order and lower order study. As higher order, reason for, reason against, and values have a reliability and validity models, and this is the tables of heterotrait monotrait model for the higher order study. And this is the higher order and lower order discriminant validity. Similarly, this is the this slide is also going to represent the path coefficient, in which you can see that purchase intention has a direct impact, uh, H1, H2, H3. Similarly, we have a 8 and 9 hypotheses which are directing impact. All the hypotheses are accepted. You can see that H1 is also accepted, H2, H3, H4 reason against have a purchase intention, H5 reason for and have a direct impact on attitude, H6 reason against have a attitude. All these hypotheses are accepted, and this is our mediating variable table. As you can see that we have a complete mediation analysis. We have a complete mediation, like attitude have a mediate the relationship between the purchase intention, values, reason for, and reason against. Similarly, purchase intention have a mediating effect among the purchasing behavior, attitude, reason for, and reason against. So this is also a complete mediation. And H11 also represent a H12, H11 also represent a purchase intention, also mediating effect about the purchasing behavior, and reason for and reason against. This is also have a complete mediation analysis. And H12A in H12B, in which we also see that reason against and reason for also have a mediating effect among the purchase intention and consumer values. So this hypothesis also fulfill the requirement, and this have a complete mediation analysis. So this is the moderation effect of our variable, in which we have a religiosity have a moderation effect to our purchase intention and purchasing behavior towards the ugly food. So now I'm going to present the finding of the study. Our result shows that values, reason for, attitude, purchase intention have a positive impact towards the purchasing behavior of ugly food. Moreover, our result also shows that values, reason against, attitude, and purchase intention are negatively associated with the consumer purchasing behavior of ugly foods. Furthermore, we also discussed that the result and the conclusion also describe that reason for, reason against, attitude, and purchase intention have a mediating effect in this model. And finding of the study also explain that religiosity have a strong moderation effect. As I have told that different religion have mainly concern about the humanitarian ground. They also said that please reduce the food waste, so everyone can eat and we can reduce the hunger in our in every religion, in every country. Either it is a developing country, either it is a developed country, so we cut down the food waste reduction strategy. So the purpose of the main of our study is that we what are the accepting and rejecting factors towards the ugly food. And as I have discussed that we are hypothesis testing, all the hypotheses are accepted in our study, and implications in, and we can see that implications, we have a further practical implication like policy makers and practitioners and researcher should focus the ugly food promotional strategies. Like we in a either we have in a developed country, we have a in a developing country, we should control the promotional tools, and in we can promote the ugly food on our several websites, in a social media we can create a social media campaign about the ugly food. And we also develop advertisement on the TV in which we can mention that ugly food basically is not a ugly food or a suboptimal food. Basically it is also similar to a optimal food, and they have a similar nutrition values, and they have a like a good impact on our health. So everybody takes part to advertise these strategies, especially government we can make educational campaign on a social media, we can make a educational campaign on a social different side, and we can also make a WhatsApp group about the food waste reduction strategies. And we also put the shelf special shelf for the ugly food and suboptimal food, which explain that these foods are not ugly food basically. And retailers and marketers should cut down the prices of ugly food and suboptimal food, so everybody in a developing country can easily reach the fruits and vegetables, and they control their hunger level. So this is our study limitation. In which study we have some limitation, as I have discussed that I did this research in a Pakistan. So this is our first limitation. In a future we can do this research in India, Nepal, and Indonesia, and we can see that what is the situation, what is the hunger level in other countries, and we are compare we make comparison both different countries, different developing countries, the hunger level. And this is the quantitative research. And in a future we can do the qualitative research in a different countries, especially in a Pakistan, India, and we can make the experimental study is also a good for the suboptimal food, so everybody can easily know and easily understand that the suboptimal food is a good for our health. So we can make that qualitative and experimental study. And we just focus on a grocery consumers, and we are in a future we can also switch our consumers, like we switch our consumer, like we have a consumer which are about the health consciousness, because in this study we have a just price consciousness and environmental concern consumer. But in a future we can choose those consumer which are highly consciousness about their health. So in the future we can change our variables like health consciousness, and we can change our mediating variables, and we can change our moderating variable, like we use the religiosity in our study. But in the future we can make the religiosity dimension like intrinsic religiosity and extrinsic religiosity in our study. So these are the some limitation. And in our study we just focus on the fruits and vegetable of ugly foods. But in a future we can choose the like bakery products and dairy products of ugly food, so consumer can easily understand that the ugly food and suboptimal food, either these are fruits, either these are vegetables, either these are dairy foods, either these are bakery foods. These are not ugly food, these are a good food which have a same nutrition level, which are good for our environmental issues, which are our environment our consumer health issue. So basically this is the main research area of the topic. Hopefully you people can easily understand. Thank you so much. Actually actually ma'am, I'm new here. I just arrived in Australia October, so that's why I have some communication problem, and I am getting this culture. soon. So that's why I have some little bit communication problem. I'm struggling with Australian culture. So I know it's difficult for you to understand my presentation, but it's a start of my effort.
No, Sobia, I think your presentation was absolutely wonderful
Thank you,
and super exciting and intriguing. I had never ever before thought about suboptimal or ugly food at all, and I thought your analysis was really sharp and fascinating. So I'll just do some clapping. And then pass around to the audience for questions, comments, stories, and appreciation. So anyone have a burning question they would like to ask? And I can see Raj is clapping there.
Thanks, Sobia. This was a really interesting presentation.
Thank you.
I was wondering, have you thought about how to, I guess, the idea of the campaigns or reaching